Broward County, Israel, and around the world. So please join me in welcoming Federation Board Chair Sammy Schulman.
All right, everybody having a good time? Little shout out to my new Australian delegation friends over there. All right, so we're here tonight making history in Broward County. What began as a mere dream has become a reality, and I, for one, am very proud to be part of this moment. Good evening. My name is Sammy Schulman. I'm a 6-time Maccabi participant and the board chair of the Jewish Federation of Broward County. We at the Federation are the #1 fan, as you can see, of the JCC Maccabi Games and ArtsFest. That's right, I said fan. And so those of you who received your complimentary fans tonight, please raise them and wave them if you got them. We hope you take these fans with you all week, because if you haven't noticed, it gets a little hot here. Well, it's our honor to sponsor tonight's opening ceremonies. A Kol HaKavod really belongs to Scott Ehrlich, Chief Executive Officer of the David Posnek JCC. Please give him a round of applause. His extraordinary staff, and of course Lori Green and Debbie Eisinger. Please give all them a round of applause. Tonight is about building community. Each of us sitting here are part of a connection that binds us to one another no matter where we may live. In Broward County, Israel, Poland, the Ukraine, France, Canada, Venezuela, the list goes on. And it really doesn't matter, because together we are just one Jewish voice, united in camaraderie and shared values. And that is the heart of the Jewish Federation's mission, making a world of difference where values of compassion, generosity, and responsibility inspire us to improve the quality of life for those at home, in Israel, and in more than 75 countries around the world. Whether caring for people in need, sustaining our seniors and Holocaust survivors, embracing children and adults with special needs, or nurturing our Jewish identity, the Federation is where our community comes together as one. It's where an energized Jewish community grows and celebrates, and most importantly, it's where you can make a difference in the world right now. So welcome to the world of the Jewish Federation. Welcome to our athletes, coaches, artists, and spectators. We're glad you're here, and we look forward to a week that will hopefully last a lifetime. Now please direct your attention to the center screens at this time for our Munich 11 program.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Who's number one? A well-loved Israeli educator named Avram Infeld is known for his often repeated declaration, "There is no such thing as Jewish history, there is only Jewish memory." History is the record of objective facts and actual events that occurred over time. Memory is how those facts and events affect us and change our lives. A devastating moment in modern history occurred in 1972 at the Olympics held in Munich, Germany. A small band of terrorists from a group known as Black September brazenly kidnapped and after 20 harrowing hours brutally killed 11 Israeli athletes who had come to compete. For the entire civilized world, this was a horrific and shameful episode. Athletes from dozens of countries had gathered, as they do every 4 years, for healthy competition and international camaraderie. But a group of political extremists who did not accept Israel's right to exist as a sovereign, democratic Jewish state attacked innocent athletes representing that country. As Jews, those horrible days in early September of 1972 are more than just history. They are part of memory. They shape the collective identity, and they affect personally. The 11 athletes who were murdered were not random people. They were part of the global Jewish family. They were people who celebrated the same holidays and shared the same Jewish traditions. They were not killed for an abstract reason. They were killed because they were citizens of the state of Israel, the Jewish homeland. One of the 11 athletes was an American-born man named David Berger. Originally from Cleveland, David made Aliyah to Israel in 1971 when he was 26 years old. He was a weightlifter. For the last 43 years, David's family, along with the families of the other 10 slain athletes, has sought to turn the memory of the Munich 11 into something that could shape our world for the better. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are very fortunate to have with us David's brother to share his memory with us. Please join me as we welcome Fred Berger.
Hello, my name's Fred Berger. My older brother, David, was one of the Israeli athletes killed at the Munich Olympics. We all know how the athletes died. I'd like to tell you how David lived. He was a wonderful person who has inspired me, and perhaps you too will find inspiration in his story. We were a traditional family from a heavily Jewish suburb of Cleveland. David was small and thin as a kid, and at the age of 13, he developed an interest in weightlifting as a way to develop his body. He read magazines on weightlifting and worked out in the basement of our home. I didn't pay much attention to David's hobby, although there was a brief period when I participated in his training. One night I was in my room doing homework, and David knocked on my door and said, "Come to my room, I need your help." David had an adjustable chin-up bar in the doorway to his bedroom. He asked me to sit on the floor, cross my legs, and grab his legs. He proceeded to lift 100-pound me off the ground as he did chin-ups. David got his ideas on nutrition, sometimes a little odd, from his weightlifting magazines, and he and our dad, a doctor, had many dinner table conversations, debates really, about his eating habits. Once David ate nothing but carrots for 3 weeks, and turned completely yellow. He lost that argument. When David was old enough to drive, he found a gym where he could train in competitive bodybuilding. It resembled the gyms in old movies, with a boxing ring in the middle and a lot of tough guys hanging out. An odd place for a Jewish kid from Shaker Heights. But David never worried about what people thought of his dedication to weightlifting. In 1965, he placed second in the Junior Mr. Cleveland competition. David was very smart. In high school, he was a National Merit Scholar, and he went on to attend Tulane University and Columbia Law School. At Tulane, David became involved in competitive weightlifting, and I believe this is where his dream of becoming an Olympic athlete began. Representing Tulane, David competed nationally and internationally, winning a national collegiate championship in 1965. That year, he also participated in the Maccabi Games in Israel as a member of the U.S. team. After Tulane, David moved to New York and continued competing nationally and internationally, representing the McBurney YMCA. I don't think they had a weightlifting team at Columbia Law School. He also competed for a position as a member of the U.S. Olympic team in 1968, but did not make the team. In 1970, David moved to Israel. He never explained to the family his reasons for going to Israel, but I know that one factor was that he had a better chance of making the Olympic team from Israel for the 72 Olympics. He represented Israel in international competitions and also volunteered his time teaching weightlifting to disabled young men. In September of 1972, my sister Barbara and I watched David compete at the Olympics. It was a happy, exciting time for all of us and the culmination of his dream. 2 days later, he was dead. If David were here today, he would tell you all, find your dream and follow it. Thank you for allowing me to tell you about David. And thank you, after all these years, for remembering David Berger and the other Munich athletes. Thank you.
Please take a look at the dog tag you received when you arrived. If you are wearing David Berger's name, please stand and remain standing to remember him.
Zev Friedman was originally from the Soviet Union. He was a wrestler. In Munich, he placed 12th in his event, the best performance of an Israeli athlete at those games. If you are wearing Zev's name, please stand and remain standing to remember him.
Amit Sur Shapira, born in Tel Aviv, was Israel's top track and field coach. He and his wife had 4 children. If you are wearing Amit Sur's name, Please stand and remain standing to remember him.
Eliezer Halfan was originally from Latvia, the son of a Holocaust survivor. He was a wrestler. If you are wearing Eliezer's name, please stand up and remember. Please remain standing.
Cahod Shore, originally from Romania, was an expert marksman. He went to Munich as a shooting coach. He and his wife had one daughter. If you are wearing Cahod's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Mark Slavin was originally from the Soviet Union. He had made Aliyah to Israel only 3 months before the Olympics. He was a wrestler. If you are wearing Mark's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Andrei Spitzer was originally from Romania. He served in the Israeli Air Force. He was a fencer. His wife gave birth to their first child just 2 weeks before the Munich Olympics. If you are wearing Andrei's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Josef Gutfriend was originally from Romania. He was a wrestling referee. He and his wife had 2 daughters. If you are wearing Josef's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Jakub Springer, originally from Poland, was an international weightlifting referee. He and his wife had 2 children. If you are wearing Jakub Springer's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Yosef Romano, born in Libya, was one of 10 siblings. He was also married. He was Israel's middleweight weightlifting champion for almost a decade. If you are wearing Yosef Romano's name, please stand and remember him. Please remain standing.
Moshe Weinberg was born in Israel. He was a middleweight wrestling champion and the coach of the Israeli national wrestling team. If you are wearing Moshe Weinberg's name, please stand as well as all of you in the stadium.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a moment of silence to remember all of the Munich 11. Thank you. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to Fred, as well as all the athletes and artists who represented the fallen, and to all of you for being here and for reminding us of what all of these teammates represented. They epitomized personal dedication to their sport, their team spirit, their national pride, in the state of Israel and a commitment to international solidarity. Over the next 4 days, all of you have come together for the JCC Maccabi Games, and ArtsFest will remember and honor these 11 Israeli athletes by competing and performing to the best of your ability, by showing respect for one another, by inspiring pride among all participants, by sharing joy in the collective achievements, by demonstrating a generous spirit toward everyone you encounter, by trying to repair the world, and by showing your love for the Jewish people. These are the Midot values. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please direct your attention to the center and stage screens and watch legendary former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who led his team to 2 Super Bowl victories and coached the only perfect season in the history of the NFL, Coach Don Shula. Coach Shula is joined by his son, Dave, former NFL player and coach, now president of the world-famous Shula's Steakhouse. Together, they will lead all of us in the JCC Maccabi Oath. And for this, we ask that you please stand at this time.
At this time, I'll let you rise and recite along with us. In the spirit of the JCC Maccabi,
and in the name of all athletes, artists, coaches, delegation heads, chaperones, parents, spectators, artists in residence, and thousands assembled, I pledge to honor the rule of Rachmanis, being a JCC Maccabi participant with compassion and integrity, and the 6 Midot, the Jewish value of JCC Maccabi.
While each one of us may
be a part of a different delegation, or represent a different sport or art specialty, we will work together in building an inclusive and open Jewish community for this generation and the next. I do this in honor of the Jewish people, the state of Israel, and the community we represent.
Please be seated. Thank you. Good luck and have fun.
Thank you so much, Don and David Shula. You are an inspiration to us all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please get ready for an amazing duo of young men who were inspired by their grandfather to become an awesome talent. Join me in watching this short video. And ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an amazing performance. Oh, yeah, I told you that was going to be amazing. Let's hear it for him one more time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know that after all you've seen and learned this evening, you'll embrace and live the Midot, the values of the JCC Maccabi. With kindness this week, you'll create, compete, perform, and live the JCC Maccabi spirit. You won't be alone in this spirit. All of the thousands of people that are in this center this evening, as well as the communities at large, are all with and behind you. We'll make lifetime friends and amazing memories that will live on forever. In fact, you can just ask the following people who are about to light our torch. Get ready. First up, we have immediate past board chair Dan Newman carrying the torch with Chantel LeConte, CEO of Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, and Nikki Grossman, President of the Greater Fort Lauderdale and Visitors Bureau, leading the torch lighting. Second group of torch carriers are Lee Caton, JCC board chair, holding the torch, walking with Sammy Schulman, board chair of the Jewish Federation, Dr. George Hanbury, president and CEO of Nova Southeastern University. Third group of distinguished torch carriers are Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel holding the torch, the first Jewish sheriff in Broward County's 100-year history, joined by Michael and Merle Orlaw. Both Merle and Michael have been involved with the JCC from the beginning. Israel walk toward the stage. They're passing the torch to our co-chairs, Debbie Eisinger and Lori Green, along with the Stone family.
I'm on fire. I tell her, baby, I'm a fireball. I saw, I came, I conquered, or should I say I saw, I conquered, I came. This little chico on fire, ain't no lie. Well, y'all slipping, he's running the game. Now, big bang boogie, get that kitty little noogie in a nice little shave. I gave Susie a little pat up on the booty, and she turned around and said, walk this way. I was born in a plane. Mama said that every word was on my name. I'm the best you've ever had. If you think I'm burning out, I never am. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Fireball.
Ladies and gentlemen, let the JCC Maccabi Games and ArtsFest begin!
This is the hope. The hope is still real. A Jewish home in Israel. This is the time. We stand as one. If not now, when? We must be strong. Our hearts turn to the east. Yeah, this is the hope that holds us together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the people that just partook in the lighting of the torch represent the spirit of JCC Maccabi and Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. They carry the continuing light of the JCC Maccabi Games and ArtsFest and its impact on the world. Tonight, we all begin our 2015 Fort Lauderdale JCC Maccabi Games and ArtsFest experience. We invite you to have an amazing week. Take a step back and watch all around you for a lifetime of memories. What an amazing evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being a part of a dream come true. Again, welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Parents and host families, you can pick up your children on the stadium floor, standing by their delegation sign. We look forward to seeing you all throughout this amazing week. And as always, everyone, please drive home safely. Good night, everybody.
Check two. The games are officially open. Somebody make some noise in this